And we're back for our daily NBA predictions and best bets here for game number 2 of the Western Conference Finals here on May 22nd between the Minnesota Timberwolves and the Oklahoma City Thunder. Well, we saw yesterday's game, yesterday's game because this video is coming out on the night of the 21st. We saw yesterday's game, kind of how we thought it was going to go. I thought the Thunder were going to win that basketball game, and I didn't think it was going to be particularly close. We'll see if anything changes here in game 2, and we're going to talk about game 1 and again what we can apply from that game 1 here to this game number 2. But before we get into the prediction, folks, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below for some more daily NBA predictions and best bets here on the channel. Every morning at 6 a.m. Pacific, 9 a.m. Eastern, we have our MLB best bets. So make sure to check out that video, or for those videos every single morning, again, every single day here on the channel. Let's get on to now the one game today in the National Basketball Association, or tomorrow. Thunder Wolves, I'm taking the Thunder again. Here's the thing about this, guys. I just don't know how the Wolves beat OKC. I don't know how they beat them once. I don't know how they're going to beat them 4 times. I think once again, I can see Minnesota getting one game. I can see them winning a game 3. I could see them winning game 4, again, one or the other. I don't see them winning 4 games. And on top of that, I see no chance in hell they win in Oklahoma. The Thunder are so much better, guys. They are. And I saw a lot of people on Minnesota. I saw a lot of people liking the Wolves. I look at these two teams. I think, okay, the Thunder series against Denver, that's just a tough matchup, man. It's hard to play Jokic. When Jamal Murray's on and Aaron Gordon's hitting his shots, they're a tough team to play. You look at what the Wolves have had to deal with so far this postseason. They've played 2 teams without centers. Just be honest. I know Draymond plays big for the Warriors, but he's not a true 5. And they played a Lakers team that was trying to play Hachimura/Vando/DFS/LeBron at the 5. And I'm not even saying that Chet and Hartenstein are the reason the Thunder win. It's just, it's a different stylistic matchup. And OKC is just so loaded 1 through really 8 in their rotation. And they just announced Shai Gilgeous-Alexander as the most valuable player. Now, I don't know why they didn't do that before the Nuggets series or during the Nuggets series. So I guess Shai is going to be hoisting up the MVP trophy here before game 2 in Oklahoma City, which is great. But obviously there's a reason Shai's the most valuable player. Doris Burke, I don't care what she says. Oh, they call him a free throw merchant. I mean, my thoughts about Doris Burke, my ears bleed every time I listen to her on commentary. So Doris Burke sucks at her job, okay? That's all I can say about her. SGA is great. I don't know how Minnesota beats this team. And especially, again, I said J-Dub was going to be a big factor in this series. And look what he did in game 1. It was a serviceable game. It was a good game for Jalen Williams. 7 for 18 from the field, played 33 minutes, scored 19 points. Against SGA's line, 38 minutes, 10 of 27 shooting, but he got to the line 14 times, hit 11 of those, 31 points. 9 assists from SGA as well. Again, that's what's going to happen when teams start to double him, when they try to put more pressure on Shai. Again, easy kick, and if his teammates are hitting their shots, it is just so difficult. Some of those passes SGA was feeding inside to Hartenstein, to Chet, to J-Dub. The guy is an underrated passer in this league because obviously that's not his game, but he can do it as well. They got big minutes out of Cason Wallace. Again, didn't really score, but Wallace played 33 minutes in that game. Caruso played 22, hit all 3 of the 3-pointers he attempted in the game as well. They're just such a dangerous team. They just are, right? And I've spoken my piece about the Pacers. Again, I'm recording this video before Pacers-Knicks game 1, so hopefully the Pacers won. But if not, again, I think the Pacers are going back to Indiana 1-1. They should be fine regardless. I've voiced my concerns about the Thunder playing Indiana. But if they play like they did in game 1, I don't know if anybody beats them, right? Because that is stifling defense on the other side of the ball. And again, they can, when they are on from past the 3-point line, and honestly, just the entire game, they shot 50% from the field. They shot 52% from the 3-point line, right? Again, Caruso's big 3-pointers, right? Shai went 0 for 4, but Chet hit his 1 shot. J-Dub 1 for 2. They only shot 21 3-pointers, but again, they won the game 114-88. And I understand a lot of that is from that big run they made in the 4th quarter. But that first half was really competitive, right? Minnesota outscores them in the first half, in the first quarter, 23-20. Minnesota actually goes into half up by 2 points, or up by 4 points, but ultimately, right, the Thunder pull away in the 3rd. They outscore Minnesota 32-18, and in the 4th quarter, the Thunder outscore Minnesota 38-22. That's just what they're going to do to Minnesota, and I've said before the Timberwolves, and this is why I still don't think the series is competitive. How do the Timberwolves, again, how do they keep up? Because they have struggled offensively throughout this entire postseason, and let's just be honest, they have been aided by the fact that they have gotten great matchups in this postseason. They just have, right? They got the Lakers at probably, I'm not even going to say they got the Lakers at the worst time. It's just the Lakers don't have a center. They play Jackson Hayes 5 minutes a game, and obviously that's not going to be enough to win a series against a team who, say what you want about Rudy Gobert, a guy who, if you give him all that room and if you let Rudy Gobert work, what are you going to do, right? And obviously, again, we said it in this series, Gobert's a non-factor offensively because of Hartenstein, right? And the Lakers had nothing to combat that. And the difference in the Warriors series with the Wolves is like, all right, the Warriors just didn't have anybody to score. I mean, they were relying on Jonathan Kuminga to give them buckets, right? They were relying on the cum bucket to score at times because Jimmy was taking 9 shots a game. Curry's out. Draymond hits his token 2 3-pointers a game, but he goes 2 for 8. And it's just they were really aided by favorable matchups. And now you automatically, or right along here, you get thrown in against the best team in the playoffs right now. I guess that is Indiana still, but the best team in the regular season, a team that went 68-14 in the regular season. On the road, oh my goodness, it's tough. Julius Randle had a really good game 1. Randle, I think, was the lone real bright spot for this team, obviously, and it is what it is. I mean, Edwards just had whatever game. I'm not going to raise concerns at all about Anthony Edwards. He's going to be fine. He will show up in the big moments. But I think if there's anything Minnesota can take away is, all right, Julius Randle played a great game, right? 9 for 13 from the field, 5 for 6 from the three-point line, scored 28 points in 36 minutes. The rest of the team, though, right? McDaniels 1 for 3 from beyond the arc. We said it in game 1, right? If the Timberwolves are going to be successful, they need guys like McDaniels and Mike Conley to hit their threes. Well, they want to combine 2 for 8. McDaniels 1 for 3, Conley 1 for 5. Conley had 2 points, or 7 points in the entire game. And then the big factor, what a lot of people are talking about, is the bench unit. The 3 main bench guys, and really the only 3 bench guys Minnesota plays, are Naz Reid, Dante DiVincenzo, and Nickeil Alexander-Walker. None of those guys could hit, they couldn't hit anything, right? I mean, DiVincenzo went 3 for 12 from the 3-point line, 3 for 14 from the field in the entire game. Nah went 2 for 9 from the 3-point line, and the worst, Naz Reid went 1 for 11 from the field, 0 for 7 from the 3-point line. I mean, simply put, that just can't happen if you're going to beat OKC. And it's been a lack of consistency, I think, is what's just going to hurt Minnesota in this series, and that's why ultimately I don't think they stand a chance. Again, I think this series will be a lot tighter. The games will feel a lot tighter once it goes to Minnesota. But right now in Oklahoma City, I mean, what do we expect? Seriously, what do we expect out of Minnesota? We need Ant to have an all-time effort, and I did compare it to last year, too. I was like, all right, Minnesota looked great in the semifinals. They got past Denver, right? But now you get to the spot where you're playing the other best team in your conference, and last year, guys, Dallas was nowhere as stacked as OKC is this year. Well, again, I've been over this. OKC's not stacked. It's just Shea makes them feel like they're a stacked team, right? Just because everyone then creates, Shea creates for all of their shots. But anyways, right? OKC, we feel like is a better unit than Dallas was last year. But regardless, and I get it's a different Minnesota team this year, right? You replace Cat with Julius Randle. I understand that. But the thing about this again, right? We saw this with Minnesota last year. They get past the semifinals. They look great. They obviously beat the Suns in the first round last year. They beat the Lakers in the first round this year. Warriors last year. Nuggets in the second round. And they get to the conference finals and they're just outmatched. I mean, it was the case last year with Dallas, right? And I know Luka had some big-time shots in that series. And, especially early in the series felt a lot closer than the series indicated it was. I just don't think this one's close. Again, I still think OKC in 4. I could see Minnesota getting 1 game. Ultimately, and maybe the series will end in OKC for Game 5. I think this is still a sweep, though. And I think, again, when we look at the spread today, -7.5 for the Thunder, -300 on the money line. I mean, don't play the -300. I mean, what value are you going to get there? I don't know. But 7.5, I think it's playable, right? Game 1 was, 6.5, I believe, for OKC. And the thought process, it was 7 as well, but the thought process there was, okay, we looked at the Denver games, and those were very competitive, right? There is a potential that this is going to be another one of these series where, the Thunder, they're a great defensive unit, but last series the Nuggets hit all their shots, and OKC struggled sometimes scoring-wise. And sure, OKC's going to go through their droughts. They're going to go through their periods where they're not going to be able to score this series, I understand. But the thing about this is I don't think Minnesota can match them shot for shot. I don't think Minnesota can honestly catch up. Again, I said that I feel like for most of the series, the Timberwolves are going to be playing catch-up to the Thunder, right? And in Game 1, the first half, I mean, ideally, right, Minnesota's up by more in that first half, but again, an ideal situation for the Minnesota Timberwolves is that they're up and they are, again, playing with a lead the entire game. And I know that's an ideal scenario for every team, but just the way that this series kind of lines up, right, you need to be kind of front-running here against OKC. You can't be trailing this team. because it's hard to get back in the game defensively. And when you are having this much trouble shooting the ball, and really just the way Minnesota's played in this playoffs, it's tough for them to be down 10 plus points. And obviously when that happened in the third quarter, right, I mean, there was just no coming back for that, right, from that. You let the Thunder go on their, what, I mean, they went on like a 12-0 run in the third quarter. You let them go on that, and then you're, all of a sudden, you're up by 4, now you're trailing by 8, and it feels like you're out of the basketball game. And Ant, again, is going to get you back in games at times, but let's just be honest. Just Anthony Edwards and Julius Randle is not going to be enough to win you this series. It's just not, right? And again, it is a problem that the Timberwolves have on the defensive side of the ball. It's like, all right, yeah, you can force the ball at SGA's hand, right? You can double SGA. You can force him again. You can force him to go offhand and obviously try to kick, or I mean, obviously it doesn't matter. Right? Shea can get to the rim against anybody, but like you can force Shea to take various routes to obviously try to score the basketball. But when these other guys on OKC are hitting their shots, I mean, what can you do? Like, what can you do when J-Dub is a consistent presence? And again, Jalen Williams at his best, Santa Clara Jalen Williams, when he's at his best, we saw this year, he was an all-star in the league, right? Chet Holmgren, who, again, I still think the jury's still out. I'm just going to be honest. And I think, again, Chet's going to be a really good player someday. I think right now, I'm going to be honest with you, I think he's, the fourth option on this team. I'm just going to be honest. I'd rather try to score with Hartenstein. I know Hartenstein's little floater hasn't been hitting all postseason long, but like I rely more on Hartenstein. I get a lot of Isaiah's points are alley-oops, but regardless, right? Chet has just been so inconsistent, and I just don't really like him as a scorer, and he doesn't do much defensively now because he's just kind of he kind of sits in the corner, and we saw last year's with Christian Brown. We've seen it again this series with McDaniels, but. He's still going to be great at times, right? So if he's having great games, if Lou Dort, when Lou Dort's hot, man, I mean, that high arcing three that he takes is nice. It's hard to guard. And then, off the bench, we get Cason Wallace, who comes in and shoots the three really well. Alex Caruso has been, other than Shea, the team MVP this year in the postseason for the Oklahoma City Thunder, right? I mean, there's just so many pieces, right? And then, Jalen Williams from Arkansas, he'll have his nights. Usually he doesn't even play. It depends. He didn't play last game. But you're going to get, right? I mean, you're going to get Cason Wallace. You might see some Aaron Wiggins minutes if possible. I mean, there's just so many guys in this team, and it's just, okay, like you can take the ball to Shea's hands. He's still going to give you 30 points, but how do you adjust everyone else? And that's the problem. The Timberwolves continue to fall in here, and I just don't see a way for them to win this series. And I don't see a way for them to really play close here in game 2. Again, Minnesota is off for a week. The Thunder just played, 36 hours previous to that game 1, and the Thunder blew them out. It wasn't even like the game was close. OKC sat their starters in the fourth quarter. Minnesota did too, but what's going to happen now? You're playing the second game in Oklahoma City. The Thunder know they can beat you. They have all the confidence in the world. On top of that, they're going to announce SGA the MVP of the league right before the game as well. That crowd's going to be pumping. I don't see this one going past 5. I think it's a sweep, but I'll give you 5 if you want to give Minnesota one game. I don't see the series being close, and I see a straight blowout here in game number 1. I feel like this is going to be game 2 of the semifinals where the Thunder beat the Nuggets, where they're just ahead the entire game, and they literally win this game by 40 points. I don't see this one being close. Again, we'll have a different discussion in game 3 in Minnesota. I still think the Thunder are sweeping, though. So anyways, it's going to be OKC here in game number 2. Folks, thank you all for watching our NBA predictions and best bets again for game 2 in Oklahoma City. If you have not yet, though, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below for more. Make sure to leave a like if you did enjoy the video. Make sure to comment if you do disagree with the pick. Folks, thank you all for watching, and Mamba forever.